Yo, Katie, tell them what they're about to listen to. Welcome to another exciting episode of The O. I hope you guys have been having a great week. I'm excited to present to you the conclusion of my conversation with Dr. Clare Anyiam-Osigwe. The last episode has got so many positive feedback, and I can tell you this episode will probably get the same, because in this episode we went deeper into her personal life. Basically, and the reason why we did that is she and her husband have this amazing festival that they run called the British Urban Film Festival, and off the back of that she was able to do her first feature film, again in collaboration with her husband, who happened to be the producer on the film. And the journey has just been so inspiring, and I can't wait for you guys to learn more about this. And also she went deeper into talking about her business as well as just the brand itself, and how creatives need to cherish the work they have and promote it. It's just a very exciting episode, and do you know what? Claire is someone who I could talk to forever, and the fact that this second episode is actually over an hour long is a testament to that. And I hope you guys would end up being as inspired as I was at the end of this conversation. So without further ado, here is the conclusion of my conversation with Dr. Clare Anyiam-Osigwe. Oh man, it's weird, man. Like, looking at your life so far, it's been interesting. Like, the foster care system, parents, and then you went into drama school, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know, it's just not working. At the same time, you're hustling, you're doing the makeup and everything, and then you go into business, and you've got all these challenges, you know, and then you got to the stage where, you know what, I'm going to put everything aside, and I'm going to make a film about, you know, the challenges I'm seeing. Now, what I find intriguing at this stage in your story is how you decided to go about making the film. Now, before we even go there is a very crucial part of your story, which I don't want to go too deep into, because I would love to hear from the other person involved in the story, if you know what I mean. Now, at some point you stumbled upon an organization that changed the direction of your life, called the British Urban Film Festival. Tell me about that encounter.
Again, divine. So dread. This is July 2014.
Okay.
And I was meant to be on the radio July 1st.
Right.
But I knew I was opening my flagship store in the first week of August. So I thought, don't do press too early, people might forget. Okay. So I asked the producer, like, can I come on, like, what's your last slot in the month of July? Because then it'll be fresh in people's mind for the first week of August. So she said 27th of July.
Okay.
I said, all right, cool. So I went on 27th of July. I went down to this studio in South London to record on Bang FM. And in between the breaks, they were promoting this festival called Bath. Now I'm like, Bath? What is Bath? Why haven't I heard of Bath before? British Film Festival. And they had a little flyer, you know, little A6 front and back. Yeah. I thought, okay, it looks kind of, you know, shabby chic, but, you know, man's trying. Let me see. Man's trying. he's 9 years in, you know, and I'm like, man's trying.
Look at this little boy trying.
You know what I mean? So my things look world class, but his thing looked a little bit, you know what I mean? Low budget. Hey, babe, what's this all about? So I went on Twitter, because Instagram wasn't even popping then, so it was Twitter, innit? So I went on Twitter. And he's tweeting me in my native language.
Wow.
About this.
He went there, did he?
He went Igbo Kwenu, didn't he?
My sister. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. 2 other guys were trying to DM me as well, innit?
Yeah, man. He had to stand out.
Some guys now, like, trying to move to me, like, friendly but sort of flirty. I don't know, innit? And I'm single. Yeah. I just got back from Brazil. I needed to take a break because I broke up with my boyfriend and So about this, like, 8 months later, I'm here on the radio talking about pre-made, just about to open my flagship store, feeling good. And then he's like, we should do buff cosmetics, you know, pre-made cosmetics, buff cosmetics. And I was like, don't know about that. But let's talk about it. So he called my 0800 number, and that used to come to my phone.
Yeah.
So I answered the phone, and it was him, Emmanuel. And I was like, oh, hi. And I remember saying to myself, you've got a nice voice. Like, you've got a nice, soothing voice.
Emmanuel.
And I was like, oh, no. Like, the gap in his teeth. Like, what is that? Can I get up? Like, I'm already thinking ahead, like, if we was to be together, can I overlook that? And I thought, well, yeah, my first boyfriend had a gap in his teeth. That's quite inspiring. But I thought, God, he looks older than he probably. Like, how old is he? I couldn't work out his age because he didn't have a proper bio. I thought he's probably about 45, and I was 29, innit? So I was like, I don't know if I want to date an older guy, like older again.
Yeah.
All my boys previously were older, and I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so we're talking now, and I obviously do like the sly woman thing where I'm like, so how does your wife feel about Buff? Like, and he's like, my wife? No, I'm not married. I was like, so you're doing all of this? Because once he started explaining it to me, I was like, really impressed, innit? So I was like, look, do you know what? Whatever happens, you got full support. If it's goodie bags you want, I can't financially sponsor because I'm literally pouring everything I have into my new shop. But product-wise, I can give you like thousands of pounds worth of product, no problem. So here's cool, you're going to sponsor the opening night, Muhammad Ali, all the boxers will be there, press will be there, be amazing. Leicester Square. That's amazing, let's do it. So I literally went back to my shop, and my best friend's boyfriend, Anthony, came to my shop because like friends and family were coming all that month of July to help me paint the shop and decorate and fit furniture and do all the stuff, right, to get it ready. So it's Anthony's day. So Ant comes down on the Sunday, and I don't know why in his spirit, he just said, you know what, Claire? Me and Jazz were talking, and we were like, when's Claire going to find the right one? You know? Ooh. You deserve someone. And I said, you know what? I don't even want to speak on it, bro. But I'm right. I found the right one. You know? I just got a feeling.
Really?
And I was like, yeah. I don't know why. Like, God just spoke to me today. When I heard his voice, I thought, I think this guy's going to be my husband. I just knew. But
interesting.
He's like, all right, well, keep us posted, innit? Because they know Claire, like, I'm always having these visions, but to be fair, they always turn out right?
Yeah.
So the following day, I'm painting again. And I talk to him and they say, I wish you a good day. Looking forward to our meeting on Thursday. And he said, yeah, you're having a great day as well. Actually, I'm having a meeting with the Buff Board and a filmmaker that's flown in from Canada, who's the director of a film about Nelson Mandela. Would you like to come? And I said, where's the dinner? And he said, Euston. And I live down the road. So I'm like, flung a paintbrush, closed up, went home, bathed up, put on my best dress, my Marc Jacob dress, but I'm there feeling fly. Do you know what I mean? And when I walked in and I saw him, I was like, this guy's going to be my husband. I just know it. I saw him. I was like, that's my husband. I know it. I know this. Do you know what it was? I'll go 7 days before we spoke, I fast. So I was fasting when I went to that dinner. I was on water, salad, and juice. That's it. I prayed and I was fasting. I was playing my Indie albums. I was burning candles. And I said to God, on the Sunday before that radio interview, use me in any way. I'm going to be celibate, abstinent, all of these things, because I just don't, the next person you send me has to be the one. Like, I don't want to look anymore. I don't want to be met by fools, and I just don't want to waste any more time. I'm 29, innit? You know, that Nigerian 30, got married in and there. I was sort of feeling that pressure, but I said to God, even if it's 50, I don't care. Just bring the right one when it's ready, innit? So when you're looking at this, everyone, he wouldn't even speak to me. Like, he hugged me to welcome me. He said, everyone, this is Claire. She's a potential sponsor. Then he was talking to all these other women. So there's like loads of women at this dinner. There's only like a couple of guys. So I thought, one of these women in here must be his girlfriend or somebody for him. I know off board, but And there was one woman, and I won't mention her name, but he did actually ask her out, and she said no. And when she heard that me and him were together, she said, I knew it. I just felt it that night that you two are going to be together. I just knew it. And I was like, really? That's odd. And subsequently, she wanted to be with him after that. But anyway. All right. Sometimes it takes somebody else to make somebody else realize that they want it. I don't know.
I know, man. You just switched on the desirability in front of our eyes, and she's like, "Ooh, maybe I was
wrong." And then because we were both working for ourselves, he like everyone else like works in corporate life, and it BBC, this, that, and the first. Like, 11 o'clock. It was like Cinderella. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. So like 12 people are leaving the table, and he's like, do you want to stay behind and do the meeting that we were meant to have on Thursday now? Because you live locally, and I ain't got nowhere to go. I like nowhere to be because it's buff season. So I said, all right, cool. So we had our meeting. Because I'm so like lightweight because I'm doing my fast, I just kept on knocking over the wine. I think I was nervous. Like, there's something wrong with me. Like, he's looking at me like, are you all right? I was like, I'm all right. I don't know, my head. I just da-da-da. So anyway, we're talking. And he's telling me about his dad, that his dad 6 months before we met was sadly, she'd been sectioned. She had a nervous breakdown as a result of his dad dying. He understood him because I was like, yeah, my mom had a nervous breakdown and was hospitalized, which is why I went into care. And okay, I understand, right? Because I've been through this 20 years ago, but I get you. So carry on. And then when he told me what he was doing for Bath, and I just thought, this guy is the male version of me. Like, he's to care so much that he would throw mortgage on the line. That's not a person that's motivated by money, because people.
No, it's not.
But motivated by money would not. They don't care about other people. They care about the bottom line. They don't care about. They don't even create a buff because it's like, what? And there's no money, and I'm going to help other black people succeed. Bye.
Jesus, man, you're Jesus, right? Okay.
But his name is Emmanuel. So.
I was like, you know what? I've never really. That's interesting, man. God is with us. Right. That's it, indeed.
So I thought this is a beautiful human, and he's such a gentleman. I mean, what you see of Emmanuel is that he's salt of the earth. You know, he's a really blessed and beautiful man. So he walked me home. There's this spot on King's Cross actually where he asked if he could kiss me, and we kissed for like it felt like it was like 2 hours or something, but it was only like 20 minutes. But it felt like forever. And then he walked me to my house, and it's like 3 o'clock now in the morning. And it's like,
wow, that's a long ass date.
Long ass date, right? But listen to this. So I'm like, where do you live again? He's like, Hertfordshire. I'm like, Hertfordshire. Bro, I'm not gonna get home, man, unless you get in £100 cab or something. I said, look, God.
I like where this is headed.
But bruv, I swear I can fight. If you try anything, I will beat you up. Like, I'm not even joking. It's gonna be on top for you. He was laughing his head off. He's like, Claire, like, that is so not me. I was like, I know that, but I don't know you. Like, you know what I mean? You know, like, I sobered up real quick. You know, like, the bandana came on, like the tracksuit, you know, like I was tracksuited up. I was like, bro, like I can fight, you know, like I've had to fight my whole life. So it's on. Woke up next day, such a gentleman, slept on my sofa, made him some juice, which he was like, ugh, this is like swamp juice, sorry. He's like, do you know what? Let's go back to the hotel where we had the dinner.
Yeah.
And let's do lunch. So we did lunch. And then we just went to different parks. We shared a bottle of water and an ice cream, and we spoke for like 7 hours.
Wow.
How many kids do you want? Where do you want to live? We just laid out the next 10 years of our lives. We're like, okay, we want to do this, we want to do that, we need to watch these films, this is how we're going to do Bath, this is what's going to happen. And then I put him on a bus at 7 p.m. So we basically spent from 7 p.m. the night before 7 p.m. to this night, so 24 hours together.
Man, plotting your future.
Just talking about our future. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we want to be.
This is crazy.
Right? And then 5 months later, he proposed, and
wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to deviate from the whole goal of this conversation. But what's so interesting about what you said is, you met this guy, right, Emmanuel, and all of a sudden there's a great connection. You kind of, in a way, projected what you wanted out of the relationship, and he responded.
Yeah.
Now I've got some friends and relatives that are young, and once in a while we have conversations about relationships, and they just say, "Oh, it's hard now, man. Guys are this and that, and it's difficult." And it's almost like some are afraid to be assertive about what they want out of a relationship in the first few weeks, because they don't want to push the guys away or make sound desperate and all that. What I mean, again, I don't want to deviate too much from the goal, but what would you say to? Yeah.
What would I say to them? I would say, you have to show up as your real self. There's no point playing games. Like, before I met Emmanuel, I did online dating, I think, for 3 months. And I met with some different guys, and all they wanted was a hot girl in there. I'm not even saying that I'm hot, but they wanted someone who was, pretty and intelligent, because they were all like, the 3 guys were like, one was a banker, one was an entrepreneur, one was like an actor.
But you're pretty and intelligent, so let's not take that away from you.
Bless you. But I'm not into it like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm really into like my mind more than how I physically look. So that comes first to me, and it's like, telling them what I wanted. They were like, no, Claire, like, you just got to take it slow. And I was like, I don't really want to take it slow, because after a couple of dates, you're gonna want my body, you're gonna want to sleep with me, and then we're taking it slow for you to tell me in 6 months. I don't have 6 months. I'm a very busy woman. My time is precious to know exactly what I'm doing. And if that seems too much for you, you're not the one for me. Emmanuel was preaching. There was no sweat on his brow. Chill, and all this rubbish like that I hear guys talk about all the time. Oh, allow it, man. Oh, chill. No, and no. If marriage scares you on the first date, you shouldn't even be dating anyway. You tell me what it is from the start. If you're looking for just sex and see how it goes, there are other girls that are fine with that. I've never been that girl. I've never been like, let's sleep together and see how it goes. I've always been about, I want to get married. I want to start a family. Right. I need stability. I want that deeper connection. So I've always gone into a relationship with the intention of. So he's not, in that sense, the first guy that I've spoken about marriage and stuff on the first date with. No, I'll be honest. But the difference between other guys and him is that what we said we were going to do, we did it. You get what I'm saying? Because other guys, I've clearly attracted guys that have come into my life and we've been together for a year or two, and we thought it was going somewhere, but at every twist and turn, you're not coming through on what you said we were going to do. And then I see in myself that you either A, don't value me, B, you wanted to be that guy, but you really ain't that guy and you're not about that life. Yeah. Or sometimes men are intimidated by women who are making more money than them, or are more, are out there or successful. So even when I was doing the online dating, I didn't even give people my real name.
Oh, really?
To Google me. And they'd be like, and I was like, I'm a GP, I'm a doctor. Yeah, I don't need it. I'm a professional. Why would I need to be on Facebook and Twitter? I ain't got time for that. I'm a G. So I wouldn't tell them I'm a skin doctor. I tell them I'm a general practitioner.
Yeah. You
can't find me because I don't want to be found, innit? I'm a professional. I need to be anonymous.
But that's powerful, because it's more like, it boils down to you, self-assured, confident, and just doing your work, man. You're just diligent, and all of a sudden someone comes your way. Look, do you want to hop on this train or not? You don't? All right, cool, bye. Next person, that kind of, it's an interesting mindset to have. and I'm hoping as people are listening, they can kind of like pick things from it. Okay, so now you meet Emmanuel, you guys have a conversation. Now you go into a business relationship with him and Buff.
Yeah.
Because I was reading how you brought in over £150,000 over a period, you know, with sponsorship. Yeah. Now, obviously, there was a strategy at the beginning. Like, how long did it take, and what kind of challenges did you face to get Buff into this kind of level?
Well, yeah. I came on board and I observed for the first year of our relationship. I observed him. I observed his team. I observed his business model. And it all had to change. You know. It's like, oh God, the control. And I'm sure I ruffled feathers, you know. He fell out with a few friends, so-called friends. I call them frenemies. But, you know, who were in the company that were trying to bring it down, do side hustles to make money and not give it to Buff, even though they were using the Buff name. Just silly little behavior I didn't enjoy. So and him, you know, he comes from a middle class background. He you know, love him to life, but at the same time, you know, he has character traits that are not always desirable, stubbornness. But these are the things that also create great leadership as well, because he knows what he wants. But sometimes there's blind spots even in knowing what you want. You know what I mean? And because I really treated it like it was my own, I was like, please listen to me, because you know that it's coming from a place of complete love. This is completely unselfish. Like, I if you lose, I'm a loser. If you win, I'm a winner. We're one now.
Yeah.
So when he really digested that, he'd never had somebody ride for him like that. He could really relax and say, okay, cool. Yeah, my wife's obviously a smart woman. She knows what she's doing. And we had to overcome some, you know, what we're doing today, institutional racism at every twist, every turn. Convincing these white-led companies that Buff was a viable, you know, brand for them to align themselves with, because when they heard the word urban, they flinch. You know, what does this mean? Crystals, guns. Like, no, this is intelligent art showing.
Is this guns?
Yeah, you know. And, you know, to the point where I won't name this particular company, but just to say that...
let's hear it.
Yeah, basically, they didn't want to put the money in the Buff account. They wanted to put it into a white woman's account.
What?
Yeah, so we had to basically borrow a white woman. No, we didn't. But what I'm saying is that was what they wanted to do. And I said to the acting CEO at the time, what is it, mate? Is it that you want the money to go into a white person? Because I can get you a white girl if that's what you want. Oh, Claire, it's not me. It's them. It's the company. I said, wow, bro. I'm talking to you. You're the acting CEO. So you can sign off anything. You don't trust us because we're black. You think we're going to squander your little degger £6,000 sponsorship. Are you all right?
Wow.
I've made, you know, like, start with this. Stop it now. So I had to get back on the phone to our big brother, and I'll name him because I absolutely adore this man, Clint Dyer, the director, who introduced us to this company. And he's our, you know, Clint's proper Cockney. Fucking hell, Claire. Black man, but, you know, he's from Hackney. Fucking hell, Claire. All right. I'm going to phone him. I'm going to fucking... No, this is unacceptable. So he phones them, they phone me, it just got stupid. No, look, Claire, apologies. Wow. No, the money's going to be sent over. Let's go hell for leather. Let's, you know, out the press release now. You know, so, yeah, we had a lot and have a lot to deal with, because, you know, we're trying to leave a legacy for our daughter to inherit something.
Yeah.
And that she continue on, and that we can continue to be the solution, because I think as black creators we're always trying to beg for white recognition, And, you know, in America, the NAACP still exists, and they treat and they show out, you know, the black stars will go there and they'll go to the Oscars. So I don't know why people wouldn't come to Bath and go to, you know, dare I say it, the BAFTAs. You know what I mean? It's
I hear you.
The two should coexist, and if where possible, collaborate. But if it's not always essential. But, you know, there's that love for your own. And Buff is that solid, like that consistency. 15 years, even when Mum and Dad died, he never stopped the festival.
He just kept going.
Deeply, you know, depressed. And you know, 2017 and 2018, no, 2016 and 17 were tough years, tough financially. My shop was draining a lot of money. Yes, those were the 2 years that we got the sponsorship. But we were bereft. We had a lot of grief, you know. Emmanuel's brother suffering from depression.
Wow.
One of our uncles was brutally murdered in Nigeria. Because he's a political advisor to Good Luck. Too much. It was a lot of stress and a lot of restructuring of Bath. So, you know, what our Reverend said when we got married was, you know, in terms of till death us do part, you've really shown each other, you know, pre-marriage, that you've got each other's back.
Yeah.
Because you went through a lot, man. As a family, we went through a lot of dark times. But again, going back to my childhood, I thrived.
Yeah.
So where most women would have ran,
you stuck with it.
Like, no, I'm good, man. I got your back. There's no ranting. We run into the battlefield and we win. Come on.
how are we going to win? That was what was in your mind, man.
Yes,
isn't it?
Yes. How will we reign supreme at the end of this? And sip a pina colada in the Bahamas or something and say, "Jeez, did we really? Oh my God!" That's the victory, man.
No, I hear you. So okay, so now you've you know, you go into Buff, you restructured everything, put some money in by convincing all those people, and now you got to the stage where you're like, okay, again, you're still running your business, and you decided to pack up after having conversations with separate clients about their experiences. Eventually, you decided to feed the filmmaker child in you, right? That's been there for like how many years was this dormant? This filmmaker part of you?
Well, at that point, it was 12 years.
Ooh, 12 years. Okay. All right. So 12 years. That's it. It's there. And then you decided to make No Shade. First of all, why did it take you that long to even consider making a film?
Because honestly, I never thought I was good enough, you know.
As a director, writer, producer?
As a writer, all three. Writer, director, actor. I thought, I'm not even good enough. Like, I saw these people as demigods, innit? Like, Amber Santi or Ava. I thought, nah. And how, like, they must sip from some special cup. Like, which cup is it? And I know you can't purchase this. Like, I don't think anyone would want to hear from me. Like, who am I?
Yeah.
You know, the business world and beauty world, yes, of course, I'm a success story. But in the film world, I'm an amateur. I'm unknown. I'm nobody. I'm just a marketing director of Bath. I'm not even a creative in that space. I'm critiquing and jurying, and I'm a lowly volunteer. You know, I know we don't pay ourselves from Bath. There's not enough money to pay ourselves even. We pay our staff. We don't even pay our own selves. So it's just like, but I think to myself, you know what? God bless us, try. But you know, because obviously I spoke to Emmanuel, so Emmanuel's looking at me like, Claire, you sure you got the goods? Because like, this film ain't gonna happen. Like, I can't. We can't have our first film and it's rubbish.
I hear you.
One thing I can guarantee is that the direction will be dope because I can direct. I know that. My writing, I'm new. I really, you know, I've not written a feature film before. Like, it's not something I've done. I've read a lot of scripts, but I've not written one.
Yeah.
And acting, I act every day, innit? Every time you switch on the lights as an entrepreneur, you're in costume, you're performing, it's a performance.
Sure.
So I just thought, let's see, innit? So it was really the table reads that gave me the inspiration to keep going. First of all, it was a short form that I wrote, about 25-page script, and it was all flashbacks and a dream sequence that happened in a salon, and then when the actors read it, they were like, "Nah, Claire, you can't cover colorism in 15 minutes. Like, we need to really understand like the character of Jade and Danny and why and how, and we need to feel her pain."
Yeah.
So I continued writing it over 3 months, sent it out to a couple of people that I really respect, in the industry. Obviously, I've got access to a lot of great people because of Emmanuel and the festival. And they all gave me feedback. They all said the dialogue is amazing.
Okay.
But the story is weak, like it's bony, like nothing's really happening. And I was like, that's true, but you know what? I'm going to run with it anyway.
Oh, really? So they gave you the feedback, and I'm sure some of them were quite polite, and some of them were not. But you were like, I'm just going to do it. Like, some people would have. Some people would actually take a year to like go through the whole draft after draft, maybe even 2, 3, 4 years. But you're like, not me.
I just thought, I don't know if I've got 2, 3, or 4 more years. What if I become a parent? What if?
Yeah.
That I might not have the zeal at 35, at 36, 40 to be a first time anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
true.
I kind of need to do this now. I'm 32. Do you know what I mean? My energy was starting to dip. Drained. But I said, you know what? This newness gives me a bit of fire. I put down my white doctor's coat, put on the puffer jacket. Went into the dead of night of January and started filming this film. And I think, because honestly, it's Emmanuel, because his love nurtures greatness.
Yeah. His
support enables people to take chances and go on then. That it fuels and ignites that self-belief anyway. So if you've got a bit of it and then you've got the support of an Emmanuel in your life, you feel like you're invincible. Do you get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's really my homie, my brother, my father, my consigliere, my he on set every day whispering to me saying, "Queen, what do you think? Because he doesn't call me Claire. He's never ever called me Claire.
Oh, really?
He called me Queen.
Nice.
And we don't call each other by our names. That's why every time I'm saying his name, I'm probably not even saying it well. I'm saying Emmanuel.
No, you're saying it well.
Whatever in life. We call each other King and Queen. That's our name. So when people were hearing that on set, they were like, "Who the hell is Queen?"
It's Queen, man.
Queen. And I was like, "It's about me. Sorry."
Oh,
King. Man. Oh, whoa.
But kind of, King Emmanuel, man. It's like it just works hand in hand.
Yeah. So it's just like that support, I think, is. And I think even that, in terms of our personal relationship, I've never had that level of support from a partner. That was the deciding factor. And I slept on it. I said, you know what? I said on Christmas, I think I'm going to close pre-made because I don't think I can do pre-made and No Shade at the same time. And he was like, sleep on it. And if you still feel that way by New Year's Eve, then do a video, let your customers know and shut down. Just make it quick and clean. Because if not, you're going to get emotional and they're going to make you feel bad, and you're not going to want to do this. You're going to feel like, what if I fail now, and was it all worth it, and I've left my business and da-da-da. So I slept on it for a couple of days, and I just decided that the time was now for pre-made to close temporarily. I'll get back to it, but for now, it's dormant. and to put my head into film. And that's what I did.
So it wasn't like you closed it to just make one film. You closed it to go into the film business full time, right? Or what was your goal?
Yeah.
Right.
My goal was to make films over the next 20 years, to make up for the lost time.
Got you.
I didn't have the automation and the finances at the time to do both.
Right.
So I put me in with Emmanuel, my brother, to do No Shade and close down Pre-May at company's house and officially. And my goal is that I'll come back to Pre-May later when I can afford and have a proper team where the business is not relying on me.
Understand.
And I'm happy to say that I've come to that place now. So Pre-May will be coming back.
Oh, amazing. No, it's this but this book you're going to write, I'm sure there's a lot of tales to say there, because it's obviously Pre-May was making money the time you shot it, and then you're like, I'm going to focus on this because this is what you want to do. Now, I'm going to be a good respect of your time because there's still a lot to unpack, but I'm going to go into the main things for the next few minutes. So now you decide to make No Shade because of the subject of colorism. Now, what I find intriguing about the story was No Shade had a title before No Shade, right? And I think that gives insight into the core. So tell us about the premiere title of No Shade.
Oh my God, the short film title of No Shade was Dick and Diamonds. The reason for this was the real Jade. She said something to me on the phone that basically light-skinned girls get offered the diamonds and dark-skinned girls with the dick. And I thought,
oh wow,
that's very profound, man. Like, I hear you, innit?
That's a gripping title.
Right. I thought for a short film, innit? Because you're not going to sell a short film, really.
Sure.
That could make sense. But then when it became a feature film concept, I thought, Dick and Diamonds, this just sounds mad pornographic. Nah. It's got to be a universal title. So the phrase "No Shade is superior" came of the script, and so I thought No Shade's the name. That's got to be it. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, so let's now talk about the process. So you talked about the name No Shade. You got in the casting process. You already told us about Lashana Lynch and how that didn't work out, and all of a sudden you dove deep into getting some interesting cast members for this film. What were your challenges like, especially at this stage? You're already pregnant, right?
No,
you're not pregnant.
Okay,
you're pregnant during the
editing and then the first screening at Bath. I was 6 weeks pregnant at the first screening.
Okay, all right. So first time filmmaker, pregnant, everything. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I really don't know like how I did it. I was just it was just all overwhelming. It was all overwhelming because like I got to a stage where I wasn't really, I thought, we had tried for a little while. Then it's like this first month we said we're not trying no more. Forget it. The month I got pregnant. So it's like,
that's it. That's life.
Like, oh no, because we'd already said, okay, the film press is really picking up now.
Yeah.
There's interest in the film because of the subject matter. Let's forget this baby thing until like 2020. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Wow.
Let's give ourselves opportunity to like go through this distribution process, and then that happened. So it was like, oh mate, but I thought, God's faithful.
Sure.
It would never give me I couldn't handle. So maybe this is meant to be. This is how He wants it to go. I just wanted to just enjoy this moment. But the thing is, because I wasn't showing, because I actually was losing weight during the pregnancy as opposed to putting weight on, I got very, very slim. No one knew. I just had the bump under black clothing and I always wore a big coat. So no one knew until it was too obvious, like until the actual released into Odeon cinemas in November. People are turning up to Odeon like, oh my God, Claire, is that a baby? I'm like, yeah.
It's not donuts, man. It's not donuts. It's baby. It's baby.
Right. Like 7 months. 7 months. You've not said a word. I'm like, no. So yeah.
Now, you. I think in general, like we can kind of like get an idea of the process. So you got the script, you didn't get great feedback, you went ahead, you did it. I'm sure you had loads of challenges during the production of the film. How long did it take for you to make the film?
So filming took 6.5 days and editing 3 months.
Wow, that was a quick turnaround. And
yeah, I mean, we worked very fast.
Right.
I cut a lot of scenes, even though we got a 2-hour film out of the footage that I did get. And the highlights for me was sleeping on set. So when Jade lived, we like, all of us, like cast, crew, and we would just like hang out.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this episode so far. Now, sorry for the little interlude. Basically, Claire had to attend to a little daughter, Lavender, because, you know, like most dads, Daddy was struggling, and I struggle as well. So we decided to take a break, and when we returned, we went straight back into the business of the film itself. And Claire explained why they were unable to get traditional distribution, just because of the very nature of the film. So, here is my continuation of my chat with Dr. Clare.
It didn't have the sort of attributes of a typically commercial film for a black cast. It wasn't a film about poverty. It wasn't a film about us in the medieval times, you know, like a period drama.
Yeah.
It was a film about guns and violence.
Yeah.
Which are deemed as commercial.
Right.
Romantic historically in this country has not been commercial. We're not used to seeing Black British people on screen, you know, loving each other and getting married and, you know, being entrepreneurs and so we're gonna have to finance it ourselves, you know.
That's
big money to do the post-production. Emmanuel did the pre-production and finance the actual production. So yeah, it's the 3 of us.
Yeah. Okay. So it was all self-funded, and you already knew. You didn't bother going through the whole process of trying to seek finance anywhere else. You already knew it was going to be.
We met some people at a film festival. They said that they were interested, but then once they read the script, they said they just couldn't see it.
Wow.
And I guess like, you know, 4 white men, they ain't going to be able to see Jade. They can't see Danny. They don't understand the language. They don't understand, you know, North London colloquial English.
Yeah.
They don't understand the roads that we walked. You know, these people are in Cornwall, you know, in the proper south eastern region of England, where it's, you know, very white, very National Front, as in racist, like overtly. As diverse as they wanted to be, they just couldn't get it.
They couldn't get it.
So I'm gonna muck around with BFI. I'm not gonna muck around with Film London. These people ain't typically for me.
Right. Because I was about to ask as well about.
And go, huh?
No, I was even about to ask about the BFI and Film London and the usual, you know, routes that people go through. Nah, man. So you guys went in independently, and then distribution. So when you finished, did the whole thing yourselves, you're like, okay, distribution. Did you try traditional distribution, or you're like, you know what, guys, let's do this. Let's make this happen ourselves?
So no, we did. We contacted. We made a spreadsheet, and we contacted over 100 companies of distributors, producers. And we got like 108 no's.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we said, all right, cool. We're gonna have to do this ourselves. So we went to
and you went to the Claire mode.
Yeah, literally. We the film got picked up for a festival, African Diaspora International Film Festival, thanks to a guy called Daryl.
Okay.
Daryl was the producer of Richard Pryor's daughter's film, which was shown at Bath.
Got you.
And he recommended our film. They liked it, and they screened it. So we went to Washington in August.
Right.
And then during that time, when they saw the film and the audience response and the Q&A, which you can watch the Q&A on our Facebook page.
Right.
They put in an offer to distribute the film.
Nice.
So we negotiated, and we got the minimum guarantee that we wanted, and so they agreed to handle North America, the Caribbean, and Canada.
Okay.
And originals, we handled the rest of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how we worked it out. And then we did. We applied to Odeon, and they said, "Well, look, we saw that you got a streaming deal with a company called Film Do.
Okay.
If you take it off of Film Do, we'll give you a run."
Okay.
Well, bye, Film Do. I want to go into the cinemas. I want to try.
Yeah.
They're only giving me 6 screens, for God's sakes. Whether it's Rapman gets 500 sites, Femi got 100. Amma and every woman that's come before me, five black females, they all got 6 or less.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So you see, again, it's not just black; it's about your gender as well.
Wow.
So we're up against it, man. So how am I meant to make £1 million from 6 cinemas? Even with every single seat filled, the max I could have made was 50,000. So we ended up taking $8,000 at the box office.
Yeah. $8,000, and that was off 6 screens, isn't it?
Yes.
Trying to do the maths. That's not too bad, right? Let me see.
That's not. If we had 100 screens, we would have done 100K.
Easy. Nice.
So that's the ratio. That would have been on par with, say, The Intent, which had a whole bunch of, actors, non-actors, influencers, known people in the film. Obviously, different genre.
Yeah, different genre.
Example, because it's a black British film. You know what I mean? Yeah. How I think the same year as us as well. I think they came out that summer and we had the winter. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Mum.
That's crazy though. The disparity between, because Alma's, she's very popular, female filmmaker, and it's crazy, man. I wonder why the disparity exists, even because film is film. It doesn't matter who made it in terms of like gender. Is it a compelling film? Is it, that's interesting. And the buzz that you guys created around the film as well. Because if you look at it, you guys already had a platform, Buff Film Festival, that actually fed into the marketing of the film as well. So you would think that they would say, this film has a chance,
We asked them for 20 seats, cinema. Well, we asked them for all of them. Then they said, no, it's a bit niche.
Right.
Then 25. Then we looked at 15. Then it was 10.
Wow.
Came down to 6. So every week the number was going lower and lower and lower. But, I just said, you know what? I'm the 6th black female to have this opportunity.
Wow, 6th black female.
Yeah, in British history to have a film in the cinema. So I just said to myself, look, just try and see how it goes, and you're gonna have to do extra screenings to make your money back.
Got you. So I think mainly was the niche message of the film that was deterring them from giving you more screens, and also the fact that you're a woman in that regard, right? Is that
the niche topic of the film, never been discussed in black British cinema, colorism. Spike Lee did it 32 years before me. So the year I was born, Spike Lee puts out School Days. But again, that's African American. That took, I think, 9 million at the box office, something like that. Was made on million or something. So they're playing in a different ball game from us. You know what I mean? It was made for like 250,000, 300K. You know, zero marketing budget. I'm using all of my PR resources. Some films spend 300K just on marketing. You know, you got to be, you know, clear about how much pressure we put on ourselves, but how little is in the kitty for us to even have a chance to truly compete. You know what I mean? But I wasn't deterred by that, because I just thought, well, you know, you're a newcomer. This is your first product out of the gate. You know, some people will on a short film, on a decent short film, say, hello industry, here I am. You're getting to play with the big dons. We're in the cinema the same week as Widows by Steve McQueen. Take it, you know what I mean? And you're like, baby film, but actually has a massive social relevancy. So the film now, if you just type No Shade into any social media, it's still getting talked about night and day, because people are still finding out about this little film and going, oh my God, this film is so important to me, you know. So whereas some other films, they're in the cinema, they're out, we never hear of them again. We go, oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it's gone. I think No Shade is a classic, and I say with the greatest of respect. You know, like, I'm not saying that I'm a don. I'm saying that the film is more important than anything I've done ever, and because of its social relevancy, it will be part of history for several reasons. Not only because I'm the 6th Black female, but because we're still trying to heal from colorism as a Black community. No. So when we're talking about Black Matter and all lives and all this different rhetoric, it's like, we call out racism so vehemently, but then once we tackle the white man and win, can we start winning of our problems as well? Definitely. That's where the crabs in the barrel truly exist. We need to start self-loving. You know?
I mean, it is true, because there is black and black crime, there's black and black hate, and it's very, very, it's very tangible out there. It's, you know, it's what your film has done is it's seeded itself into the fabric of human conversation for years to come, because it is there, and people would always want to refer to cinema for insight or to start conversations, and, you know, your film is already out there and it's already part of it. So it's interesting to see what the next 10, 20 years would do for the film as well. You know?
That's it. It's the game. Yeah, definitely. Because I thought, you know, after Odeon, no one would ever want to hear from us again. But all of a sudden, India's calling, and South Africa calling, and São Paulo, and because there's girls all over the world going, oh my God, this is my film. This is for me. You know, I never see myself on screen. Thank you for doing this, Claire, you know. And again, that just speaks to that care, you know, the care that Emmanuel puts into Buff, the care that I put into Pre-May, the care that I put into No Shade. I think it speaks to our characters. Why do it? I've been told by another Black girl that I'm too light in complexion.
Really?
to this film. Yeah, and I was like,
wow.
Because I was like, so now we're policing each other's shade of brown to the point where is it rich brown or light brown? Like,
no, it is really messed up, you know, and the conversation even goes bigger than just, you know, you trying to make a film. It's also, there's conversations about, do you have the right to speak for us as Black people? You know, that it just keeps extending into some ridiculous territory. And
just move the goalposts on each other.
I know, move the goalposts.
Which means that therefore you can't even really, you know what I mean? You can't really be a collective if you're always trying to find deficiencies.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I see that. I mean, it's crazy. So, okay, now again, tooting the success of the film commercially, I read you guys had like 10 million streams on Amazon Prime so far, maybe even gone beyond that. And it's just an astonishing amount. And it's how you've been able to drive views to the platform. like you said, you guys had little or nothing in terms of financial resources to push this. So if you were to advise a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker that's saying, you know what, I'm going to bootstrap and make my film, how would you advise them to go ahead commercially in their endeavors?
I think the number one thing that I see a lot of filmmakers don't do is they don't love their own work, Mum.
How do you mean?
I think a lot of people don't push their films.
Yeah.
A lot of fans of other people, but they're not really a fan of themselves. And I think that's because a lot of people feel ashamed of self-promotion. But what do you think your favourite celebrities are doing every time they throw up a selfie of them on a private jet or their album for you to go and buy? It's self-promotion. You got to love yourself first.
Sure.
Love doesn't come from you. Why should I care?
Yeah.
Every time someone tweets me about my film, I say thank you. I don't care the film's 2 years old now. It costs me nothing to say thanks.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be above no shade, like, when I'm 3 or 4 films in. Like, that's forever mine. I'm always going to be proud of it. You know what I'm saying? That's you gotta own your stuff, man. I see people put out their films that almost like apologize, like sorry, here's the link to my film. What?
You just have to drum it in. Yeah.
How did you make it? What? Like, tell me everything.
Yeah.
Like, love yourself.
You just promote the hell out of the film as much as you can.
And use everything and anything to promote it.
Right.
You have to be you have to have no shame. You can't feel embarrassed. No shame.
No shame, man. No shame.
You can't. How can you have shame to plug something that's going to feed your family? Something that you've personally invested in.
Yeah.
Time, finances, energy. And then you're going to be like posting up so-and-so's film, but you wouldn't post up your film. That is very strange to me.
No, it is. It is. The psychology of it all is...
Doing it every day. Neglecting their own things in favour of somebody else. I don't understand you.
No, I get that. I mean, it is really... it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling because when you think of it from how you're saying it, it's almost like you've put so much sweat and blood into making this product, but you're so ashamed to get it out there because like why? It's like you don't believe in it enough, or it's an interesting mindset. Let's put it that way.
It is. Or like a very quick story I'll say, but I remember being young and I used to love obviously Destiny's Child and Beyonce and that.
Sure.
I remember watching an interview and they were saying that I think they were revealing that Beyonce's family, like everyone in her family buys 100 copies of the album when it comes out.
Bro! You see that?
Yeah, they want that number one spot. They're not leaving it to chance.
Do whatever it takes.
Why does every one person in your family need 100 copies? So they're willing to put up £10,000 to make sure that you owe £1,000 if it's $10 each. Yeah. £1,000 to say, here's my investment in you. How many people you know in your circle that would do that for you? If you don't know any people that would do that, you potentially need a new circle, Mum.
I hear you.
It's very out here. You can't be apologetic about support.
I hear you.
Like there's a people that have supported me. They don't even know what I've got in store for them because I record loyalty.
Interesting.
And I also record the people that I haven't supported as well. It's equally important. No, because they'll be the first ones to want a handout. But what have you given?
True. It is one of those things where when you really consider the depth of what you're saying, it's like relationships in essence. That's all it is. It's just relationships. And
relationships.
So No Shade, it has been well praised, obviously, but like most films, it has its critiques. So as a filmmaker, do you read your reviews, and how do you handle the criticism when it comes in?
Yeah, the things that the film has been highly praised. And we've had a few criticisms. Like we were slated by The Guardian.
Okay.
We were given 1 out of 5 as a review.
What did they say? What was that thing that stuck out there?
It just lacked depth, the storyline. And I just thought, okay, white man in his 50s. Sorry, he doesn't know this world. He doesn't know it. He can't understand it. He can't salvage it. Can't galvanize it.
Yeah.
And it went over his head. And people in the comments said the same thing. Look, man, there's an issue when he's mentioning race at the beginning of the message.
Yeah.
Looking for a reason to not like the film, and that's okay because he couldn't see a black man, the character of Danny or whatever, outside of hoodlums and hoodies and shoot 'em up. So maybe it was aliens. He's not used to that. Okay, fair enough. But we got incredible reviews from other people at the Radio Times and MTV and different places that were like, terrific first feature film. If you didn't understand colorism, you will after watching this. This is a very important film for black women.
Yeah.
The black British woman's experience.
Yeah.
And also, just what I loved, in fact, was when men would say openly in the Q&A. I love the fact that you put the counselling, like my own character that I play, Carla.
Yeah.
And Eddie, and how Carla's, going through some miscarriages, and then has asked Eddie to come to counselling to talk about the ex-girlfriend, and they were like, we need to see more of that. That's really encouraging, man.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't talk about our problems and get outside intervention. And we just thank you for, and I thought, wow, everyone's taken away different elements of the film depending on what they deem as important, but my audience got it.
Yeah, your audience.
And my audience, my pitch deck from the start was black women, and it's primarily black British women, and they got it, but they didn't show out in the cinemas.
Okay.
I had more bums on seats, but they thought it was going to be a downer or too kind of triggering or traumatic.
Okay.
So now I've learned a lesson for my second film. I would do my premiere in America first.
Right.
My African American women, they had my back, man. They held me down. Like, women were flying across the country, coming from Atlanta to California, because that's the only place it's showing, or driving down from Philadelphia to Harlem or Manhattan. Like, come on, man, 5-hour drive
just to see your film. Wow.
See me, somebody they've never met in life. Yeah, I can't even get homegirl from round the way to come to Holloway Odeon.
Wow.
To come and watch.
So let's unpack that for a brief minute. So you got your film done. Obviously, you're expecting your audience here in the UK, black British females, to show up at the cinema. That didn't happen, right? Who? Wow. And who are the ones that showed up? Like who surprised you?
I think a lot of black males. I think quite a lot of black males and mixed race women who wanted to see how that mixed race angle was portrayed, and said I did a fantastic job at making sure that, after obviously exploring the fetishism of light skin, that I heard from the character of Andrea that was played by Sharia Samuels, a great actress, heavily underused, that she had that moment of clarity with the character of Jade, and they come together as two sisters in the end of the,
I love when they did the picture thing. That was cute.
Yes, and that gets people tear up.
That's a really sweet moment.
Can I be an ally? Yes, light skin, therefore I do have some privilege. But how can I support my darker skinned sisters when things are going wrong? You know what I mean?
Sure.
And not all girls are interested in the hypersexualization of their light skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Including my best Jasmine, who's always called it out when we were youngsters and being separated based on skin tone by guys. You know, so I think. Of course, some women did show out, but not as many as I thought that would for Britain. And I think, you know, that's okay, because like I said, you know, you go where the love is.
Obviously,
the next time.
Obviously. And then it's like it's interesting. I mean, it's not something you decided to explore for the like, why didn't they show up? Blah 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 blah. You were like, you know what, it's all good.
I'm not talking. No. I go where the love is. I'm never one to beg. No, not me. I just go where the love is.
I mean, it's a testament to your personality and your drive as well, isn't it? Because again, it's that thing of if you start to lick your wounds and look at places where it's almost like you could drown yourself in pity and whatnot. But just the love is there, man. Just go for it, and that keeps you going even stronger. And then you could. It's like people say Tyler. Yeah. I mean, it's like the Tyler Perry situation. Like, some people don't like his films, but he's like, look, I'm gonna super serve my audience. They're making me stupidly wealthy, right? Yeah. Like, what's the point? Like, why? Well, doesn't make sense not to serve them. You know. But yeah, okay. So Claire, we're almost rounding up, and I'm sure Lavender's so happy about this. I'm sure she can feel.
Can you believe? She just wants to be next to me. That's all.
Oh, man, that's cute, man. That's cute. No, kids, even like my sons, they love being around their mom when she's around. So it's a kid thing. And when they get older, they just do their own thing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So now here's one question that everyone asks people that have, you know, made something great out of their life. So, but this is twofold for you because you're very multifaceted. What advice would you give someone wanting to enter as a filmmaker, the film industry, and if you put your entrepreneur hat on, B, business in general? Like, you did your skincare, you did your PR. So what advice would you give people in those regard?
If you want to get into film, I would say become multifaceted again. I would say it's not enough now to just be an actor, especially if you've not got an agent, and especially if you're building your credits. Sure. So whilst you're sitting around waiting for work on auditions, learn how to do areas that are heavily underserved. Like, there's not a lot of black guys or girls that can do sound. Learn how to do sound, man. Learn how to do writing. Learn how to be a focus puller. Do something extra so that you can be on set, get some paid work and experience whilst waiting for your dream role. I'm a writer, you know. I'm networking and going to writing workshops and just becoming a people watcher. Start with who you are if you've not got a vast imagination for the Lord of the Rings type films. Start with where you are, but I definitely say get an additional skill within the industry.
Well, that's powerful. Then like the other business aspect, what kind of advice would you give?
I would say the next 10 years for certain is all about personal branding. Right. So I would really say look at who you are and your personal traits, even things that you've been ridiculed about or laughed at, or you felt slightly like, oh no, this is actually makes me, you know, what are your quirks? And try and put those things forward, because people are looking for originality and a personality. Yeah. And I think that will help any product or service, because let's face it, there's room for more wig lines. There's room for tech companies and apps. We all watch Netflix, but we all want to watch, you know, whether it's Afroland TV or Quality or Amazon Prime. We want to watch a variety of things. Yeah. True. Variety, you know, the name of the game now. You know. So, you know, think about what you can bring that's fresh. And what you can bring is you, because no one's you.
Sure.
Ogo cannot do Clare. You know what I'm saying?
100%, yeah.
It's your that makes everything great about you.
Yeah.
And I try to stifle that sometimes because I thought, and I need to, and then I say, well, it's me that makes this is how it is. You know what I mean? It's because of who I am and how I am that everything fits the way it fits. No one could do it like me.
No, yeah, you know, be you, and it's very crucial. And I think again, like going through your story, it's like there's confidence and understanding who you are and sticking to it, and just falling the love and just relationships as well, because those are the tenets I'm seeing, and it's a powerful blueprint. Honestly, it's a powerful blueprint, and obviously just knowing how to get the right partner and sticking to the right partner, because that's essential. Oh my God, yeah. Isn't it?
It's the that's your vibranium, man. That's the glue, man.
Yeah.
And just a quick note for ladies: we can take advantage of good men, especially when you've been bruised by a few rotten apples. You know, you can think, this guy, man, of the swag. Does he have the girlfriend swag? Forget swag. Swag is not. You know, that's you need to look at the ingredients of what makes long-lasting change in a person's life. If a man can invest in those areas in you, that's the one to keep, man.
And what are those areas that you would see that, like, these are, if you can invest in these areas, what are those areas?
Your mental and your spiritual health, you know what I mean? A lot of people can bring stress to people's lives.
Sure.
When you question where your man's laying down, I know a lot of people, I'm not going to name names, obviously, they're unhappily married.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people want a wedding. They don't really want a marriage. They want the pictures for Instagram, but they want to really want what it takes to remain happily married. And like I said, you know, me and Emmanuel are not a perfect couple. This parenting thing has challenged both of us to the point of, should we separate? What's going to happen? You know, we've had conversations. It's not been easy, but when we took the pros over the cons, we were like, we're too blessed to be stressed, man. Let's reorganize our lives. This is not how it's meant to be going, man. We put way too much pressure on ourselves. We need, you know, more of a team. You know, like I said, a chef, a nanny, whatever. So we need support, man.
It is important because especially when you have kids and you're ambitious people, there's always a challenge, and you know, it's I would, you know, me and my wife also have conversations about that as well. I think, but when you realize that it's a phase and the kids get older, you know, it's like it's going to happen. They will get older, and then it's back to both of you. So if you destroy what you have now, and they get older, and you're like, what, you know, you look back in time and you slap yourself in the face.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, there's a lot. Like I said, it's been an interesting chat. The next section is going to be quick fire questions, a few of them. Okay. So before we go there, we can't sniff at this one. How does it feel having the British Empire Medal from the Queen?
Oh yeah, you know, there's mixed emotions. No, seriously, there's mixed emotions when it comes to black people taking on honours from the royal family because of their involvement in slavery and colonialism.
Sure.
But I always said if I was honoured, I would accept it. I would accept it based on the merits of hard work and recognition. And, you know, hope to be, you know, a Trojan horse, you know, being close to the establishment so I could bring about change.
I hear you.
And whether I want to be or not, I am a role model. And if other black people have gone into cosmetic science because of me, then that's a thing, you know. Other people have opened up businesses going, well, if Claire can do it from her kitchen sink, so can I. That's a good thing. You get what I'm saying? And I've inspired a lot of people because they told me.
Yeah,
I did. It's because I saw you. When I saw you, getting all the way to the royal, to the palace, I thought, well, wow, I can do. And that's all you want. A lot of times you're looking forward and you're like, who was there before me as a visual representation of what's possible? And then you go, I can do it. It just gives you that additional boost of self-assurance that, yes, I'm creating my own blueprint, but somebody in there and walk this mile as well. And if they were only human and bleed blood and breathe air, and then I'm the same as them. I can do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that's much. I feel like we understand the history, but like you said, if you inspire people, and then in the next 20 years, you've got the first black female prime minister, off the back of what you've done, then do you know what I mean? And then someone at the level to make different policy changes. Again, it's a bigger conversation. So
that's it.
Yeah,
it's not just self-centered ego to be like running around with the medal on. For me, like the future.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there after I'm gone, and I was doing that before I became a parent, but it's embedded in every move I make now that Lavender's born. How we setting her up.
Well, Claire, honestly, this has been great. So let's go to the quick fire section. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and the rule is you don't spend more than 5 seconds thinking of an answer.
Wow.
I'm going to start with the easy one. I know this is quite still early in the morning, so you're probably tired, but let's try it. Question number 1. What is your favorite word?
Obviously.
Obviously. Nice. Okay. So, what is your favorite cuss word?
Fuck.
All right. Okay. It's getting interesting. What was the last music you listened to?
Today, Tupac, Shed So Many Tears.
Oh, nice. That's good. Okay. What was the last book you read?
Oh my God. 33 Strategies of War.
Ooh, someone is going in for the battle, for the kill. Okay. Now let's go deeper into you. What are you terrible at?
Saying no.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. Okay. What are you great at?
Showing love.
Ah, that's nice. Okay. Who is that one person you admire or respect that you like to have a meal or coffee with?
I'd like to have a coffee with a few people, but yeah, the person on my vision board that I'd like to have a meal with would be Spike Lee.
What will you talk about?
I talk about what it's like having a legacy of 30 years of creating art that is clearly so groundbreaking, and he's probably had to compromise funds and family, and just how has he maintained his sanity? Yeah. That type of art for so long, because for me he's made like 20 No Shades, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's like, damn man, that takes a lot, where people are not going to finance it because they're questioning its commercial appeal, and but you still got to push on, and America and that hyper racism.
Yeah. That's tough, because what I'm hearing from you is like you're a businesswoman, but when you in that filmmaking space, you're not necessarily approaching it pure business. It's more like impact, right?
Yeah, because the thing is with any great business is that once it impacts, the money will come.
I hear you.
For the Richard Bransons and the Oprah Winfreys, it's passion led first. Then the money came. They weren't instant billionaires. Do you get what I'm saying?
True. True.
It's 25 years odd of doing what you love, building your relationships, building your community. You know, this is what people get twisted. And then you see, you know, Kylie Jenner lying that she's a billionaire at 19 to make us all feel like we're failures. You know what I mean? Just to reveal.
Yeah.
You know, 3 years later, that it was all garbage. You know what I mean? And it's like, what's wrong with 590 million? That's a lot of money, sis.
That's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of change.
You get what I'm saying? But for you to have to feel that pressure as a person that, I had to shuffle some papers and pretend to be a billionaire. Why are we competing so hard? You're doing well, man. But it's because of that perception. You know, a millionaire is not enough now.
No,
We've
it's
all
not.
got to be on Dre's level. Billy, we're going for the Billy now. And then, you know, 10 years' time, them lot will be going for the trillion, putting themselves under some ridiculous pressure. Are you enjoying life whilst you're hustling to try and be a trillionaire? And then at the end of it all, still be in a position where you're still deeply unhappy. Let it take time. Greatness takes time, man.
Very true. It's a good thing you mentioned the likes of Richard Branson, because I read one of his early books, I Lost My Virginity, and it's interesting how rebellious he is in his mind about business. Like, it's not, I need to be so super structured and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, I love it. I'm going to have fun doing this. Let me see how I can be disruptive and serve a need. And I could see there are a lot of similarities in terms of what you have and the likes of all these guys and women. So, which brings me to my next question.
Awesome.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh my God, to remove, I don't know. That's a good one.
Super Claire.
To like, I know it sounds random, but to not overthink.
Not overthink.
Yeah.
Is that a superpower?
Okay, is that a bit dry? Let me think. Superpower.
Yeah. Let's dig into your chest of, I don't know. Did you ever read comic books? Were you a comic book fan?
Not really, no.
Not really.
What, all like walk on water and all things like this?
I don't know. Just something super-ish.
Something super. I wish, I guess if I could fly, that would be dope.
Yeah?
I'd like to go to fly.
You save money on like airlines and private jets and the rest of it.
Airlines, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so we're almost to the end. Now, these are the parts where you're allowed to think a bit more. If a movie was to be made about you or your career, what would the title be?
The word that Emmanuel uses to describe me, which is indefatigable.
I'm tongue-tied already, man.
Doing it.
Wow. That title needs to come slowly on in the trailer. Like people can catch letter after letter. Damn.
It's true, that's quite a long word, man. We've just throw that into conversation one time.
Wow. That's like people are gonna pause like what did you say? Or some people would pretend like they heard it and they just move on. You know? That's amazing. I like that. So, and who would you like to play you in that film?
Nia Long.
Ooh, the beautiful, gorgeous Nia Long.
She's so beautiful. I wanted to be her. Like, I wanted to be her as an actress when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Rock the short hair, and I just wanted to be a girlfriend, you know, like in everything.
Yeah.
She always had those dope girlfriend roles where, like, she just was it. Like, to me, she was just the best.
Nah, she's still gorgeous, man.
She's so gorgeous. She hasn't aged a drop.
Do you know what? Those women in that, like Nia Long, what's her name, Jada. There's so.
Jada's had some work done though.
Has she?
I could see her face. She's had a bit of plastic surgery. Yeah.
Oh really?
But Nia, Kerry
Washington, man.
Kerry, man, come, like, you know what? It's so dread. She was on a billboard once, and my friends drove past her. Oh, Claire, I think I saw. I said, no. My sister said the same thing, and I thought that was a massive compliment. Certain hairstyles, I can look like different people, but those two ultimate faves, and they're both married, or Kerry's married, but Nia's dating Igbo men.
Are you serious?
Oh man, go on, man.
Listen, man. You know, we know what we're doing. So,
yeah.
I tell you another woman though. That's just ageless. Gabrielle Union.
Oh, gorgeous.
Gabrielle Union, man. Like, she's just an ageless beauty. It's not even.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the kind of beauty. It's just like, it's not fair. It's like,
it's really.
She knows she's gorgeous, though. You know, like, she's got that attitude of, I know I'm gorgeous, and you just like, sis, we all agree.
Yeah, it's painful.
Gorgeous.
It's not fair. It's not fair. And but you know, it's black, man. All right, now let's go on to the final question. Finally, take your time with this one. What would you like the world to remember you for?
For making stuff for making gifts.
For making gifts.
Yeah, like all of these things, pre-made, Buff Originals, No Shade, all the products that are going to come out from Buff Originals over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
The revival of pre-made, this forthcoming book. They're all gifts from God. You know, as an Igbo man, I'm an Igbo woman. You know, we have Chi at the beginning of our names, which for the men usually, and Chi for the girls, but it's interchangeable. But it means God, and you know, in the yoga world, in the spiritual world, the chi is your gut. You know, your stomach chakra is, you know, another word for chi. And that flame, I've always had that flame in my body. I've always known that I was, you know, a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yeah.
And I feel that everything that I produce that comes from my body, that comes from my mind, is a gift, isn't it? It's a gift from God to the world.
I hear that. And, you know, it's like the famous quote from Miles Monroe about the grave. Just don't die old, you know, die empty.
That's
it.
Absolutely. That's one of my phrases from my favorites. I think Les Brown says it quite a bit.
Yeah, die empty. I heard that when I was young, and it's like, everything you have, just empty it out, like, because the grave is the richest place on the face of the earth.
Yes, all the dreams, all the squandered thoughts, all the doubts,
everything is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Claire, honestly, thanks for staying along with me. I know Lav needs mama, and Dada is like, where's mama? So
he's blessing. I've tried this, I've tried the light, I've tried the meal.
It sounds like me, man. When my wife is like doing something else, I'm like, look, I can't do this. This is beyond my skill set. But listen, I really appreciate the time. I'm sure the listeners are going to be super inspired, and I wait to.
I'm so grateful for this interview. Thank you so much, Ogo, for including me in your podcast. And you know, if there are extra things that people want to find out, just hit me up, man. I'm on @Clare Anyiam-O, CLAREANYIAMO.
Yeah.
Or Buff, BUFF Originals, or Buff Connects. I don't handle any of the Buff stuff anymore. But Buff Originals I do, and my own stuff I look at. So yeah, it's just follow the journey. Follow me or follow back. I'm not bougie.
That's great. Honestly. And what's the future like for you? What's next?
So, and I'm glad you asked. Well, by the time this comes out, No Shade will have another streaming platform to add to its listings, which is Afroland TV, which is pitching themselves as the Black Netflix.
Nice.
They are based out of Texas, America.
Yeah.
Owned by a Zimbabwean entrepreneur and actor. And the film will go on there, so it'll be shown throughout Africa and throughout the UK and Europe. So if you want to spend, if you want to buy black, since we're in the Black Lives Matter revival, Please check it out, and they'll be on there from June the 18th onwards. For 2 years, so you can catch it there. And then in the autumn, before autumn, so pre-K will be coming back. I'm not going to do a big fanfare for that. I'll just hit up all my customers, and it'll be on the socials and everywhere, and it's probably going to get some press because I've got some exciting products to come out.
Awesome.
In the sort of virtual lab, making new supplements and vitamins. So hopefully that should help people during this lockdown period, because I think we're going to go through a second spike of that.
Yeah, and it looks like it.
In the winter, some literature will be coming, and hopefully I'll be able to make some announcements about some film and TV projects that I'm just finalizing. So yeah.
Awesome.
It's time, not hard. You know, the next 35 years is about working smart, man.
I hear you, though. I hear you, man. I hear you, because kids are there, and it's you don't want to burn out, you know, and you need to
energy, man. You know.
Oh man, terrible. Man, they are. You know.
Industry, nah, man. Something's got to give. You know, you got to preserve your energy, and I'm approaching. We've done overhauls on all of our businesses, and basically, I won't be really working in any of them. You know, I'll create products and then I'll just promote them lightly. But we've got teams and structures in place for everything now, because I love being a mom. You know, I love spending time with my best friend and my daughter and just chilling. I want to enjoy more of my life this second half, this second chapter, you know, because hopefully I'll live to 100. So, you know, by the third chapter, I'll be on my humanitarian thing. But right now, I'm, you know, building products and services and reviving stuff. And it's going to be a fun year to finish and a fun decade. Because this is where the fruit comes, you know, put a lot of roots, but the fruit this decade. So we'll see.
Well, Dr. Clare Anyiam-Osigwe, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ogo.
No worries. Now, I hope you guys were like so inspired by that conversation. Dr. Clare's an amazing woman, and she's someone who I'm sure would inspire a lot of people. And that's one thing I'm trying to do with this podcast, bring people that are very inspiring, people you can relate with, no BS, straight to the point, you know? I think we need that a lot in this day and age that we live in. There's a particular quote I want to drop with you guys before I exit, and it's by Thomas Edison. And the quote is, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work." You know, there's a bit of humor there. Now, there's another one, which, again, it ties into what Claire was saying. If you don't try, there's no opportunity to succeed. This is by Katie Lime. Now, the thing about trying is, the more you try, the more you get used to the pursuit that you're engaged in. You are open to more ideas. You're open to more opportunities, right? And you're also put on a path. It's almost like a spiritual thing. You're on a journey. You're constantly on a journey. And then you're going to meet other people that are also on that journey. And you'd be surprised the people that you look up to. You'd be surprised the people that would be on that same path with you. You know, the good Bible says your gifts shall make way for you, right? So again, that's what I'm trying to say. It's almost that once you try, the door opens, opportunity opens, and then there comes more enlightenment. You start to understand the reason behind more things in life, and it draws you closer and closer to your goal. And who knows what that goal may be? As you may start from this direction, but then as you go further down the road, you might get to a particular fork in the road, and you might see a very wise person that you look up to, and that person says, "Look, I started on this journey and I'm heading to that direction," and then you'd follow that person to that direction. Or you may not. You may have wisdom to create your own path. So in essence, try. If you do not, then you're shortchanging yourself and the lives of others that you might inspire. And there's also another quote I want to drop with you guys. I mean, I'm feeling very quotey today, right? Success is about taking advantage of opportunity. And guess what? There's nothing more expensive than a missed opportunity. So today's an opportunity to get better, and don't waste it. And the reality is, whatever you do today has a knock-on effect on tomorrow. So don't waste your today, guys, and try. Like Dr. Clare said, God bless the trier. Thanks again for tuning in. This is The O.